HarperCollins and HarperAudio present Unleashed by Boris Johnson. This is the author. To Carrie and to the memory of my mother Charlotte. Hasta la vista, baby. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Terminator 2, Judgment Day, 1991. Part 1. Trapped. Chapter 1. The Curse of Spider-Woman, in which I am apparently skewered by the Supreme Court. They say the hour is darkest before dawn. Well, my watch said dawn was hours ago, and it was still dark. What the hell was wrong? Oh yes, I was in New York. I was in a not very flashy hotel, to judge by the size of the room, and as consciousness returned, I remembered the other key data. I'd come to New York with my wife-to-be, who was lying asleep next to me. She was pregnant, and that's right, I was Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, and First Lord of the Treasury, Minister for the Civil Service and the Union, and before I could reflect any further on the position, I saw the light that had woken me up. It was Martin Reynolds, my brilliant private secretary, whose name was flashing up from London on my iPhone. "Morning, PM," said Martin, in his characteristically bouncy tones. You could almost hear his tail thrashing the carpet. "Sorry to wake you so early, but I think you need to turn on your TV. It's bad news, I'm afraid." Bad news, I thought. I wasn't sure how my political position could possibly get worse. Yes, I was leader of a G7 country, and yes, I had supposedly enormous executive powers. I had heavily armed and highly trained detectives who physically protected my person. Yesterday, one of them had actually crossed from one side of the New York pavement to the other to push some unsuspecting pedestrian from my path. He gave a startled cry. I had cars and planes and helicopters and £1 trillion budget. But politically, I was trapped. My grip on power was already tenuous, and after 63 increasingly turbulent days in the job, I felt I was clinging to the rain-slicked window ledge of office. My parliamentary majority was 0 and sinking the whole time. I had sustained the fastest by-election defeat of any PM in history. 3 weeks ago, I was on my feet in the House when one of my colleagues, actually a rather thoughtful GP from Bracknell, had stood up as if to intervene in my speech, but rather than catch my eye, he had then sauntered across the floor as I burbled on to join the Lib Dem benches, where he was received with rapturous acclaim. I had no real electoral mandate, having become PM solely thanks to the votes of 160,000 Tory members. All of them, no doubt, estimable and responsible people, but only a tiny fraction of the wider electorate. I had not won a single vote in Parliament, and I was stuck, as in one of those suffocating dreams where your legs won't do as you order them. I could not do the one thing that I had promised my Tory selectorate I would do. I could not deliver on the mandate of the people. I was unable to execute the promise we had made to 17.4 million people, and to honour their vote to leave the European Union. We were hurtling towards the October 31st deadline, by which we were due to leave the EU, and I had sworn to make it happen, do or die. But the result was looking much more like die than do. I couldn't see a way through. Parliament was refusing to vote through a deal that would allow us to leave. The EU was refusing to give us a new deal. The UK negotiating position, already pretty weak, had been more or less destroyed by the Surrender Act, a parliamentary bill that meant the UK could not just walk away from the talks and would have to sign up to whatever the EU would give us. And the EU was not going to give us anything that Parliament would accept. I could go neither forwards nor backwards. The crowning indignity
Sample complete. Ready to continue?